What's going on once again, Descendants? So inside of my Discord, there is a channel for testing, I would say. It's for mathematical calculations, but I won't bore you with the details. There's a discussion that arose that wanted me to test the numbers at the end of the screen. So I went into the executioner and I shot him with the Assassin's Edge. The numbers pop up on the screen. I slow the video down over time and then I add them together in a calculator. In my quest to figure out where the disparity was coming from, I then went to a lower leveled character with a lower leveled gun. So I switched to Vyasa, and I used the gun that I have been using to do damage testing because it's level 1 with no abilities except for maximum rounds, which does not affect damage at all. Just gives you more ammunition, so I have more testing time. At which point I got the opposite effect, and I ended up actually dealing more damage than the numbers displayed. Not the same amount of damage every time. So this led me to believe that other things are off inside of the game. I will have to say, in one of my last videos, I had tested the damage cycle of the Hound, and I did not know that you could reload cancel simply by holding down the fire button. That's weird. You can also reload cancel by literally performing any single action within the last 80% of the reload bar. So if you want to reload cancel, just aim down sights. I shot 6 bullets, 5 of them did 34, and the last one did 17. This brings my total to 187. Why it says I only deal 132 is beyond me. Only one of two things could be happening here. The numbers that we're seeing on the screen are just not the numbers that are actually being dealt to the creature. Or 2, the game is using some sort of formula to averagize DPS across the amount of time that you were in the fight. I don't know how this could be because Descendants have skills in one way or another. The damage calculations are off. This made me think how many other video games were off. This is probably the reason Destiny only counts kills instead of damage dealt. But it does do damage dealt on raid bosses. So that makes me think that their damage is also wrong, because if Nexon has a problem with it, why wouldn't Bungie? That's a video for another day. This led me to want to test the numbers on the stat sheet of Thundercage. I have a Ryzen 9 4090 with unlimited FPS. If I'm conservative and I say 120 frames per second, that gives us 0.008 seconds of tolerance, which means anything deviating by more than 0.0083 seconds is an anomaly, but we'll round this up to 0.01 second. In addition, I'm using a Google clock on my screen with OBS, which is also recording at 120 frames per second. So it is the same, but we'll say plus or minus, and we'll add 0.01 to the order. So that's 0.02. The video editing software I have will only let me move plus or minus 0.03 of the clock. So that gives our tolerance about 0.05. So anything deviating from 0.05 is now incorrect. That is the parameters of the test going forward. So here we have at the first frame, the shot is fired. 26 becomes 25, and the second is 0.01. The last bullet is fired and the reload bar appears. We have to wait for the reload bar to appear because the bullet has essentially a firing time before the bullet, as the bullet fires, and before the next bullet can fire. That is how the fire rate works. And you'll see here that we go from 0.60 to 0.60 to 0.63. My video editing software could not keep up with the frame rates of the clock. That is why I set my tolerance to 0.05. But nonetheless, 2.6 seconds is how long it took to fire 26 rounds of ammunition. So 26 divided by 2.6 will give us 10 rounds a second, or 2.6 divided by 26 will give us 0.1 seconds per round. Either way you want to look at it is fine. So we are firing 10 rounds a second. There are 60 seconds inside of a minute. So 60 seconds firing 10 rounds a second will give us 600 rounds a second. The actualized fire rate of Thundercage is 600, not 666, which means this weapon is 10% weaker than its stats would appear. There is a reload time modifier, but not a fire rate modifier. Since this ultimate is off, I'm sure a lot of the ultimates are off, and I'm sure a lot of the guns are also off. So that led me to believe that I should test every weapon in the game, figure out their actual damage cycle, divide that damage cycle by the amount of damage dealt in the cycle, which would give us DPS, because that's, damage over time. However, that's a lot of work. So I'll leave it to y'all, and I don't have every ultimate. I'll leave it to all the Twitch streamers and the YouTubers to figure out the damage cycles of the gun. That being said, thanks for watching. Check out the rest of my channel. If you like it, consider subscribing. Coming up after this is an unedited version of Kyle shooting the Void Intercept boss. You can just go check out the unedited video of me shooting the boss, I think 7 times, with the Assassin's Edge, calculating the numbers that pop up on the screen, and putting the damage in. Yes, I know weak point and elemental damage are an issue. Would have been off by the same amount when I went to the Hound, which it wasn't. Enjoy!
Shield destroyed. Caught me off guard. No, damn it. Shield is down. Shield destroyed. Emergency situation. Caught me off guard. My shield is down. Damn it. Requesting support.